This week, we're looking at dark web monitoring. Bose has their Frames sunglasses and a brand new TV that we know you're going to want. Well, internet security products continue to innovate. It's far, far more developed even today than it was 5 years ago in terms of the different products that are being bundled with your premium internet security packages. Norton is obviously one of the packages that's available to you. We thought we'd have a chat with Mark Gorrie from Norton about their latest Norton 360 package and also drill down a little bit about dark web monitoring, which is a feature of the package these days. Mark, how are you?
Great, thanks. Nice to be here, Charlie.
Yeah, good to have a chat to you. I guess when you guys are making internet security today, you continue to add new features. One of the challenges would be actually explaining to people what the feature is and why they need it. Your dark web monitoring, if we could talk about that first up, why do we need that?
Yeah, look, actually, I'll go back a quick step. I suppose how we build a solution like Norton 360 now is really what are those key elements consumers need these days to protect their far more complex digital lives. And for us, there's like four key pillars, which is the device security, privacy, like in your privacy online, identity, and home and family are those four key pillars that we really work on these days. And yes, one of the new features, dark web monitoring, it really is our identity pillar. What we're finding is we're using so many more services these days online where we're suffering from a constant stream of scams, and we're hearing more and more about breaches, large corporate breaches. What this ultimately means is people's personal identifiable information, which is it's important. It's it's private information. People don't want to get out because they can suffer identity theft and a whole bunch of other ongoing threats, scams, etc. So what we're trying to do is discover where that information is out there, and a lot of it gets traded on what we call the dark web. Now, the dark web is a piece of the internet that, unless you've got special technology to access it, it's very difficult to find, because your typical search engines where they index the web, they don't get to the dark web. And so it's a lot of cyber criminals operate in these networks, and they trade a lot of personal information. And so what we're trying to do is discover that information and alert people if we've found their information on the dark web.
So let's drill into that a bit, because I've been using the internet, I think, since 1995. I've been registering on different websites and services since that time. I haven't always practiced good password management, for example. And every once in a while, I'll get an email, because I've had the same email address for quite some time, from somebody pretending that they've got all my personal details, and it might have been, pick an example, MySpace, for example, and I've got all my personal details from my MySpace account, and they're going to share it online unless I pay them $500 via Bitcoin. And I sort of think, well, you don't have my private information at all. You're phishing, right? You're phishing or spear phishing. Is that the kind of thing that you're trying to help me with?
Yeah, because there has potentially through a lot of breaches that your information has leaked out there. It could be from multiple different sources, and we see these scams where they may get by a database or find a database on the dark web, and they just start using that information and prey on people's fears about what they may do online or where they've been or what that information could be. And quite often they've only got a small piece. They might have a username, they might have an old password, and they'll use that to say, hey, we know you've been doing, this online, or you've been looking at, bad material. And we know because here we've got your password, and they'll use this. And look, it's a numbers game. They could have bought a database. We had 50,000 people in it, and they know that there's a percentage of those people that will fall for that scam and do it. But what we're trying to do is where we've found your information out there being traded, because yes, you may still be using that same password years later. So if we can say, hey, look, we found your details and we found this password and it's circulating out there, it's a good indication you need to go and change passwords or implement the services that use two-factor authentication. There's proactive measures you can help you, from suffering from the kind of activity cyber criminals will use that data for.
So you're looking under the rocks that have been placed there often many years ago. We don't remember them. Yeah. We don't remember these sites that we were once registered with. And if we don't know enough about the techniques that these criminals are using to try and trick us or steal from us, you're sort of holding that up to a light, so to speak, and just making it easier for us to navigate the internet, correct?
Absolutely. It's very much just alerting people that your information's out there. It's circulating. Cyber criminals can access it. And yes, for a lot of people, password management is still not up to scratch. They're still using the same password, multiple accounts. It's not complex. And so it makes it easy now. Like if you're using all the same credentials all the time, if one service has been compromised, they can go and try a whole bunch of different services and use your credentials. And there's a good chance that they will access services, whether it's your streaming services, whether you store information, your tax services, whatever it may be. You're an easy target now. And so, this is about alerting for the fact that data is circulating. Cyber criminals have access to it. So you need to do something about it. Like I say, it's, start using a password manager so you can use different passwords on all your services, making sure the passwords are more complex and not easily cracked.
But on that point, Mark, you actually include a password manager with your Norton 360, right? So you can go into your menu here, which I've got on my PC right now, and you've got device security. I can do a quick scan. You've got secure VPN, so I can turn that on, and all my data is going via you, so that even my ISP can't see what I'm sending across the internet and back again. You're also got a cloud backup as part of this subscription. You've got a password manager as well. And they're all there. They're just part of my subscription. I can go and set them up, configure them, and off they go. You're kind of giving us all the tools, right? This is even before I get to parental controls and dark web monitoring.
That's right. Like really, this is no longer antivirus anymore. This is multiple services all built into one. Because yes, quite often people will have, antivirus internet security for their device protection. They have a paid VPN service to protect their connections or access different services, a password manager. Yes, online storage for remote backup. These are all different paid services. These are all core elements of good security, and we've brought it all together into one simple solution. And that interface you're looking at there, Charlie, it's about bringing it all together to make it really easy. What we found with Norton 360 is once we brought all those services into the one interface, so it's all there, easily accessible, people are using the VPN more. They're using the password manager more. And so, which is what we want. We want people to use those because they're individually all critical to strong security. And passwords definitely a key part of it. Like for myself, I have over 200 passwords stored in my password manager. Most people have 100 different passwords, 100 different services with a password related to it. So if you're using 2 or 3 passwords across all these services, once one is compromised, there's a whole bunch of other services are now vulnerable.
Very dangerous. The question from Jan, she is a Norton 360 customer. No doubt you thank her for her custom, but she was wondering how she actually goes about setting up the dark web monitoring, because it's got a sign in button on the menu, and she just sort of she needs to understand what's the process from here.
Yeah, look, once you sign in for that, there's just some, obviously we're scouring the dark web. So we just want to make sure people are comfortable of the service that we're running. So you go in, you accept the terms of that. What we will do initially, so your Norton account, you have an email on that account. So we can do a quick scour of the dark web, then go back through a whole bunch of history. And if we found your information out there already, we will send back what we call a baseline report. So everything that we've seen to date, where we've seen your email address on compromised information, we'll send that back. And we're actually, in Australia, already seeing a very high alert rate, nearly as high as the US, which with social security numbers, it's been a big problem. So yeah, we are seeing a lot of Australians getting alerts off the dark web monitoring. What then people can do is it's much more than just your email that we can monitor. There's fields like for bank accounts, credit card accounts, in insurance details, your mother's maiden name. There's a whole bunch of fields there. So if you're truly concerned, and this can be, your spouse's email, a child's email, you can put those in there. Whether it's a driver's license, phone numbers, any of those can ultimately be monitored. And so the more information you share with us, and look, I must stipulate, we take the privacy of information very serious. So it is very securely protected, whatever you do share with us. But once we've got that, we can look for more of that information that could have been compromised. And individually, they're all important pieces of information which ultimately could be used against you by a cyber criminal. So the more that you share, the more opportunity we have to find that information and alert you that it's out there.
So it's like a running credit check, but for your personal data on the dark web.
Exactly right. So we're always monitoring. So once you set it up, we'll do that baseline check to see if there's historical data that we've discovered. But once it's there, there's a constant check that's going on so that as new breaches occur, as new scams have been run and cyber criminals are selling databases of information on compromised information, whether it's credit cards or people identities, and we discover that, well, then you will get ongoing alerts through the dashboard, through an email, or there's an app that you can also run on your phone to get your alerts on there.
All right. It's a very, very interesting world. And the argument that I present to people is, look, how much benefit do you get? How much savings do you make by transacting online, by engaging with businesses online, the amount of time you don't have to go and physically make a phone call or stand in a queue because you can do so much of it online. There has to be a protection mechanism put in place for those activities. So get good internet security is the message. Mark Gorrie, no doubt, thinks the same from Norton. Mark, it's good to have a chat to you. We won't talk to you about some of your mobile services and stuff today. We'll talk to you about that another time. I wanted to really spend that time today on the dark web product that you've got as part of Norton 360. But we appreciate your time and thank you for explaining all that to us.
Great. Thanks, Charlie.
Most of you know Hisense for their TV technology, but they're also bringing innovation into Australian kitchens too. Now they're offering this new refrigerator that not only looks smart on the outside, but is smart in how it keeps your food cool.
The Hisense Black Steel 519-litre bottom mount refrigerator offers a 6-star energy rating, the highest rating ever achieved in Australia. Hisense says this energy rating is thanks to a newly designed inverter motor and vacuum insulation panels. The better Energy Star rating, the more energy efficient the appliance is, and that can save you in power costs over the life of the appliance.
This fridge also provides a stable temperature throughout its interior by continually measuring conditions and managing output to keep your food fresher for longer. There's also less noise from the redesigned motor and compressor system.
Now, iPhone 12, it has the review embargo has been lifted, so anyone with an iPhone 12 or iPhone 12 Pro is now able to publish their reviews. Geoff Quattromani has gone and done that. He's got the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 Pro. How are you, Geoff?
I'm really well, Charlie. How are you?
Show me those handsets. How are they?
Yeah, look, I've got none of them here.
All right, so no review of iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro. Instead, let's talk about the second item we're going to have a chat about, the Bose Frames. We're going to have them on Cybershack TV, 1 p.m. on Saturday. If you want to watch that on Channel 9, check your local guides. Geoff, Bose Frames, would you wear these?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about something innovative. So here is a pair of sunglasses that look like a regular pair of sunnies. They've got polarized lenses like you'd expect out of a good pair of sunglasses. But inside these frames here, inside the arms, are very small speakers. And when you wear them, you can be listening to your music, your podcasts, your favorite radio stations, whatever it is, and the audio is fired into your ear, but you're not actually putting any earbuds in, which means you've still got this amazing spatial awareness that if, a car is beeping their horn, if someone's calling your name, whatever the case is, you're going to still hear them while hearing your music at the same time. So here's a pair of sunglasses you can wear and not be excluded from the rest of the world at the same time.
So many earbud companies that have got the noise cancelling technology built in, they have that ability to have the ambient sound play through, and you select that through the app on your smart device or some such mechanism to have that active. What you're saying with Frames is instead of actually blocking the ears with the buds, the sound is played right near the ears, so you still get that spatial awareness.
Absolutely. And I think we have this problem where people are effectively zombies when they're walking in the street with their headphones on, is they don't really have a clue of what's going on around them, especially if you're also staring at your phone at the same time. And we see this happen all the time in the city. But here is a product where you can still be wearing your sunglasses as you need to, but you can still be understanding what's happening around you. So the other thing that we have here is 2 microphones built into the frames themselves, and they actually allow you to do beamforming so that when you are taking a phone call on the sunglasses, you can actually be heard clearly, but the surrounding noise is being blocked out. So a really smart way of still being able to take calls on a pair of sunglasses rather than using actual headphones or putting your phone to your ear.
Wow. The design is obviously very important because at the end of the day, they don't look good on your face. You're not going to wear them. It's very different to buds where you, most of the time, you aren't even going to recognize them. And you're definitely not going to wear them if you're going to get that initial pushback from fashionistas, for example, if they don't look good. Apart from the design, can you control the mechanism of volume and things like that on the glasses themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, you've actually got 3 styles in the frames now. So this is called the Tenor, you've got the Soprano, and then there's a sports pair as well for when you're running around or mountain bike riding. So there you have got some choice around the fashion size. But in terms of controls, you do have a single button on here, which you can use to play pause. But you've also got a touch-sensitive part of the frame where you can control the volume or double tap to wake up the voice assistant as well. So you can be controlling your music, you can be answering calls, all those types of things just on the sunglasses themselves. So if you are going for a walk or even a jog, you don't have to be looking for your phone. You can do it all on the actual frames themselves.
The thing for Bose over the decades has been about excellence in sound, right? When Dr. Bose was running the company, it was very much all about showing customers the ultimate sound experience. How is the sound, and I understand that Dr. Bose has passed away, he's no longer running the business anymore, but how is the sound on the frames? And is it comparable at all to buds or headphones that Bose manufactures?
Look, it's extremely impressive to start with. So first of all, when you do put the sunglasses on, you don't even know that there's audio coming from the sunglasses until you're wearing them, because it does a really nice job of targeting just that space around you. And even if you're sitting next to somebody on the bus or on the train, there's a pretty good chance they're not going to be able to hear, even though that sound is being, shot into your ears. The audio experience is almost like having a speaker in the room that you're sitting in, whereas with headphones, you are absolutely forcing or physically forcing that sound into your ears. So it is different to wearing headphones, but it's not different to the way that you listen to music when you're at home. So when you put these on, the first reaction is always wow, because you don't even understand that sound is possible to be achieved in this way. So it is something people need to experience before they buy them. Try them on in the store. Have a chance to actually listen to these, because I think it just surprises people. Every time I've put these on somebody's face, you just get this, wow, where is that sound coming from? It's unexpected and it sounds very good.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I when you sort of add up the benefits of the fact that you can just put them on and go for a run or go for a walk, ride your bike, that kind of thing, wear them in. You could probably even wear them in the car, I suppose, if you weren't if you didn't have a system that had Bluetooth, for example, through your car stereo. You had an old car, for example. So there's lots of options, but you still get the benefit of having the spatial awareness. It is very, very very important to continue that. Pricing, where are we? I mean, am I going to be able to afford to purchase these? I guess that's the final question.
Look, it's effectively the price of a good pair of Bose headphones. So you're looking at $399 for the new generation pair. The old generation, which actually still looks very similar and has more of a matte finish, these are now $299. So you can go and get the older version if your budget suits that. And, I think for me, I have to say one disadvantage, and it's like any other pair of sunglasses, you can't really wear them indoors. So if you are, using these sunglasses, enjoying your music, once you walk into the office or you walk into a shopping center, you have to take them off. You can't keep them on, and you don't really hear the frames very well if they're resting on your head or on your shirt. So it's one of those things that I love them, but once you get indoors, you're looking for another pair of headphones to actually enjoy your music with. So the price does match up with a good pair of sunglasses. The added bonus of the speakers built in is certainly great. So you do need to weigh up your options on where you put your money.
All right. And also, if you wear glasses for reading or whatever, I understand you can talk to your optometrist about getting those customized lenses added to your frames as well. So have a chat to your optometrist about that. Mr. Geoff Quattromani, sad to not talk to you about iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro. We'll do that again another time. Thank you for coming on and talking to us about the Bose Frames. Some very, very innovative kit from the guys at Bose. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Charlie.
The Find X2 Pro is Oppo's ultimate 5G flagship and features 360-degree antenna design for unrivaled connectivity.
There are a total of 12 antennas around the main body, of which 8 are dedicated to 5G and support both standalone and non-standalone networking, making it future-proof as we continue to see tech evolve in the 5G era. The rear cameras include a 48-megapixel wide-angle sensor with a wide aperture, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide sensor with a 120-degree field of view, and a 13-megapixel telephoto zoom lens, offering up to 10 times hybrid zoom and 60 times digital zoom. Don't worry about your handheld photography skills, as both the wide-angle and telephoto lenses provide optical image stabilization, delivering sharp images.
The Oppo Find X2 Pro is a worthy contender if you are in the market for a future-proof 5G smartphone.
One of the coolest things about talking tech is looking at the latest innovations. Check this one out for TVs. It's an unrolling OLED TV from LG. Now, LG showed us this technology for the first time in 2019 at CES. Now, look at the way it just unrolls up from the base. You can have this at the end of the bed if you want and want to watch a movie, unroll it. It's going to be a very expensive bed. LG has just started selling these TVs in Korea. So what it means is that now, if you want a TV that rolls itself away, looks as good as an OLED with the color and the deep blacks, because it is an OLED, won't be too long before they're bringing these out in Australia. They're not here yet, which is sad, but what it does mean is that this TV technology is coming, finally. We've been waiting for it for so long. Every time we ask LG about when it's coming, they say, oh, look, that's the LG display business. It's not the LG electronics business. I say, whatever, when's it coming? Anyway, finally here in a Korea, pops itself away right there. Looks sensational. just been released in Korea. Can't wait till they come here. I won't be able to afford one, but it will be awesome.
This is Geoff, the touchscreen device delivering your favourite streaming entertainment. It's smart, safe, and fits in your pocket.
You'll notice that Geoff has no cameras, as this is an entertainment device. Every Geoff has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity, a 5-inch plastic touchscreen, FM radio receiver, and a 2,200 mAh battery. We've also included basic parental controls allowing you to pin lock the apps and settings on every Geoff. Don't know the pin? Then you can't open the app. There are 3 versions of Geoff: Geoff, Geoff Plus, and Geoff Connect. Geoff is perfect for listening to apps like Spotify and Apple Music with limited distractions. Geoff Plus has the same hardware but is a Google registered device. So we've pre-installed some Google services like YouTube, Google Maps, and Chrome, and you can download and install your favorite apps via the Google Play Store. Geoff Connect is just like the Geoff Plus, but with 4G connectivity. Your Geoff Connect will stream your favorite entertainment via Wi-Fi and 4G, make and receive calls, and also text. With Geoff Connect, we've included the ability to personalize the incoming and outgoing call and SMS experience using our preloaded call block. Block or approve incoming calls and SMS traffic as you decide. Find your Geoff, a safer, smart device.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Lots of information about dark web there, and appreciate Geoff coming on the program once again, having a bit of fun with the fact that didn't get our iPhone 12 or 12 Pro when everyone else did. Maybe it'll arrive next week, don't know. We'll see you again real soon. Up next week, don't forget the radio show's on Saturday morning. Tune in on the 9 radio stations and the syndication partners. And of course, Cyber Shack TV, 1 p.m. on Channel 9. Check your local guides, and we'll see you same time next week for more Cyber Shack Live.